Hello again. Off to Torquay today to try and get a selfie with none other than Agatha Christie. Oh yes. Right, let's go. And here we go. This is my train to Torquay. Hopefully containing Andy. So I'll see you when we get to Torquay. Tell you a bit more about what we're up to. Yay! Look at that. Torquay. Smashing.
Welcome to Torquay. Torquay's history dates back to the Paleolithic era, from artefacts of prehistoric man found in Kent's caverns, suggesting human habitation of Torquay for around 450,000 years. Roman soldiers visited Torquay, leaving offerings at the rock formation known as the Face. The ancient village of Tor from Torquay, which takes its name, existed in the medieval period. Tor Abbey and surrounding land were owned by the Carey family, who were prominent Torquinians. Torquay became popular in the early 19th century as a winter resort due to its mild climate and fresh air, with a new harbour built around this time. Today we know Torquay as a popular seaside visitor location, with its Victorian history and its influence still on view, and its connection to crime writer Agatha Christie.
There we are, our first view of Torquay. Lovely. The English Riviera, Torquay. And there's the Grand Hotel. And it's got a little Grand Garage up there. There we are, the Grand Hotel Garage. Lovely.
Yes, that's got some fine history to that hotel. I haven't written anything down about it today, but there's quite a connection to this and the railway.
Of course, as we're not going to be coming back per se on video, get a little bit more about the station now while I'm here. This wasn't apparently the first station.
No, it wasn't. Torquay has two railway stations, Torquay Tor and Torquay. Tor station opened in 1848 by the South Devon Railway, serving the initial railway connection for Torquay. A new Torquay station was opened in 1859 by the Dartmouth and Torbay Railway, further connecting Torquay to Paignton. The current Torquay station, replacing the 1859 station, was built by the Great Western Railway in 1878. Both Torquay and Tor are listed as important examples of Victorian railway architecture.
And here we are. First proper look at the sea in Torquay. That's the entrance to the park over there. Lovely Victorian gates. Beautiful. And be amiss not to get a shot of it. That's the Grand here in Torquay. Not going to do a feature on it per se at the moment.
Beautiful hotel.
But we just have a little look. And just over there, got the bowls taking place. There we are. There's their bowling green. That's the park we looked at with the entrances and the Grand in the background. And over here, we have King's Gardens.
Yes, it's King's Gardens and it's adjacent to Abbey Gardens and are popular largely with children for model boating. The gardens were opened in 1905 by the Mayor of Torquay. In the evenings they are lit up with colour spotlights, and the Bowls Pavilion has lights around the exterior shape of the building, making the area look so much more attractive to visitors. Now Bill's got the camera pointed over there, so we're now looking at Abbey Meadow Gardens, and it's a large open space for all events and picnics. The park itself is hosted to a wide range of activities such as tennis and crazy golf. It also houses the Italian Gardens with its attractive pond and fountain and rock garden. The gardens will be hosting the Electric Bay Summer Festival featuring indie bands and the headline act Block Party. Past visitors including Norman Cook from Fatboy Slim.
Hello, Crow.
Hello, Bill.
Just noticed that tree over there has been enclosed with a little fence around it. So it must be some sort of special tree. No idea what though. No idea what.
No.
And just over the other side of the wall now, down here by the beach. lovely. And up ahead, that was the Palm Court Hotel. We'll be dealing with that in a minute. You can also see a spiral bridge. But before that bridge was there, this is what it looked like. Here we go.
We are now looking at Tor Abbey Sands, which has been Torquay's main beach since the early 19th century, and it's very popular for its shallow, safe waters for bathers to enjoy. The beach is said to be haunted by a ghost of a headless monk, the ghost of Lady Carey, and a Spanish lady who searches for her lost love. The ghost of the monk is said to ride up and down on the front on his spectral steed. The beach has also been in several films and TV series, including Monty Python's Scott of the Antarctic. This would lead to John Cleese staying on the town to film the series Fawlty Towers.
A little bit further up now, this is of course where the shelter would have been in the previous photo that you saw. And there's a bridge which we'll be going on to in a minute to chat about that and get a shot of the building there, which was the Palm Court Hotel. There's a bridge, over 50 years old that is.
Yeah.
That spiral bridge. Over there used to be the Palm Court Hotel. I've prepared a little history presentation on it, which I'm about to run for you right now. The Palm Court Hotel was a landmark on Torquay seafront, built in 1912. It stood proudly on Torbay Road near Tor Abbey in the Princess Gardens, drawing holidaymakers to the English Riviera for decades. Throughout the 20th century, the hotel became known for its charm and prime location, a symbol of Torquay's golden age as a seaside resort. It welcomed guests from far and near, offering a taste of coastal elegance. But by the early 2000s, the Palm Court had begun to decline. Struggling to meet modern expectations, it eventually closed its doors and sat empty, waiting a new chapter. But then in 2010, disaster struck. Huge fire tore through the building in the early morning hours. But thankfully, no one was inside, and no injuries were reported. For a time, the site stood derelict, a sad reminder of what once was. But in 2012, new life arrived with plans for Abbey Crescent, an Art Deco-style complex with restaurants, apartments and stunning sea views. Today, Abbey Crescent stands proudly on the seafront, blending Torquay's rich past with a fresh, modern future. Lovely. And indeed, there it is today, in all of its glory. That's what it looks like. That's the Art Deco building, with all the shops, restaurants, cafes, etc. juxtaposed next to the older buildings next to it. Just down there. There we go. Lovely. And that brings us on nicely
to our next feature. The 1964 film The System was filmed in and around Torquay and surrounding areas. The film starring Oliver Reed, who plays the character called Tinker, a photographer with the plan to seduce rich tourists, women, and then ditch them, but his plans fails when he falls in love with a rich model. We will be in future featuring some of the screenshots from the film that include Paignton, Dawlish and Dartmouth. Also another film, less popular, starring a very young Ray Winston, called That Summer, shot in 1979, a story about a boy from a reform school heading to Torquay for the summer holidays and getting into trouble with a gang of Scottish punks.
And both of those films are actually very, very good, and both of them are linked on YouTube for you to watch in full for free anytime you like. They're linked in the description, and we'll probably be mentioning them again at some point, but do check them out. Very good films. I watched them yesterday myself, both of them,
and I
thoroughly enjoyed them.
Very good.
Close up of the buildings now that were the hotel, and in those films you can see it when it was a hotel, because he comes and has a drink with someone right there.
Yes.
Where we're looking now, when it was the balcony of the bar of the
and it's
hotel.
about this spot where they jump into the old vintage car that they're in.
Yeah, those two films definitely worth a look if you want to see some of old Torbay, how it was. Really good. Torquay wishing well. What shall we wish for? What shall we wish for? Wish for you to subscribe. I'll chuck something in off camera. I can't put money in, and film at the same.
The Princess Theatre opened its doors in 1961. It's a 1,500 seat theatre. It has seen acts like Tommy Cooper, not like that, and Morecambe and Wise, Bruce Forsyth, good game, good game. It also has seen pop artists like Billy Ocean, Paloma Faith, Level 42, Squeeze and Will Young. In behind the theatre sits the Immaculate Princess Gardens, which were constructed at the same time as the theatre.
And I've been to the Princess Theatre once. I came here to see Darren Brown, of all people, doing one of his shows. And to be fair, it was really, really good. Really good show. And it was a really nice theatre when I went in there.
Yes.
Very clean, very presentable.
It's very presentable. My wife went to see Will Young, but it's not my cup of tea, but she enjoyed it.
Lovely. And they've got the Rocky Horror Show on at the moment.
Yes. That's a good production as well. Still the sexiest, funniest show in town. Better get a part.
And up ahead, we have the Princess Pier.
Princess Pier was built in the late 19th century, with construction starting in 1890 and completed by 1894. It was named in honour of Princess Louise, daughter of Queen Victoria. The pier, initially a simple concrete groin, later expanded with steel and timber structure. A landing quay was added in 1906. In 1965 a modern shelter was built, but by 1974 a fire occurred, damaging the structure. The pier is a firm favourite of Agatha Christie's Mile, which has been explored around the town. Agatha, who grew up in Torquay, and regularly she would be seen roller skating with her friends on here.
Now, excuse the fact I'm on 20 times zoom. Only way to do it. Livermead Cliff Hotel over there. And see a little beach in front of it.
Yeah, the Livermead Beach.
And some rocks there.
Yeah.
And the reason we're showing you this is in the end of the System film, where they throw the piano in the sea.
Into the sea.
That's where it was.
The final shots of it, yeah.
So that's the location over there. That's the beach. Smashing. A little bit further down, in the same film, where they have the bikini scene where she goes swimming and has nothing on. That's the rocks there. That's where they were swimming off.
That's where they were swimming from.
And just before we come off the pier, just looking up at the buildings up the top there. That one there with the two sort of almost like Chinesey sort of roofs to it.
Yeah, it looks like it's got sails on it. That's what it was supposed to be, wasn't it?
Lovely.
And a pleasure craft. Or is it? No, it's a fishing boat that's going out fishing. So there's only one thing I'm going to do. Little
ice cream
Oh
stall,
yes.
just setting up now.
Jude's.
Opening up its shutters to start for the day. Probably sell quite a bit of ice cream if the people come along. Oh yes.
The old fishing boats down here, and it shows how much it's still a thriving industry in this part of the world. There's a really smart one up there, bears watching. That's a leisure fishing boat, I think.
And as we come away from the harbour, we will start to walk into Princess Gardens.
Yeah, and there's the fountain in the middle, which changes colours at night time. It's when it's illuminated, but it's not operating today.
And there's the fountain. Lovely. Shame it's not turned on.
And it's a shame it's not night time with the coloured lights going.
Just over there you've got Torquay amusement arcades, and they feature quite heavily in the That Summer film. It's where he first meets the bullies, where he's playing pinball, and then he comes out, walks across this road here, filmed from the opposite angle, and just over there is where the bus pulls in. And up ahead we have a bust of Agatha Christie, and I said we were going to get a selfie with her, but no, that would be really a cheap video if I just took a selfie with this bust, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be very good at all. Never mind, not going to do that. Andy's going to tell you a little bit about her.
Yeah, the Agatha Christie Memorial bust was commissioned by the English Riviera Tourist Board to mark the centenary of the author's birth on September the 15th, 1890. Sculpted by the Dutch artist Karel van der Boom Cairns, It was based on a photograph taken when the author was in her 60s, unveiled by Agatha's daughter Rosalind Hicks on the 15th of September 1990.
Here we are, just coming out through the other side now, onto the main harbour area. Places for people to sit and enjoy some food. And fresh taken crab, shellfish and oyster bar.
Yeah, there's something you don't see very often.
Lovely. And of course there's this side of the harbour too, which does look rather nice in the sunshine.
It's a lovely harbour.
Last time I was here, it was a few years back. A couple of swans there. Lovely. Might see if we can feed them in a minute, so I've got that bit of swan food still in my pocket.
A mute. And this harbour was constructed in the early 19th century, and it has been home to fishing boats and sailing boats. And in the 1860s a new slipway was built, which is just to the left of us here, and this enhanced the harbour's infrastructure. In 1867 and 1870 Holden Pier was built to give the harbour protection, and the one that we've just been on, which was Princess Pier, came later on, as we said, in 1890. And then during World War II it was bombed quite heavily, sinking several docked naval vessels, but today it stands as the hub for Torquay's pleasure craft and fishing industry.
We've attracted the swan. We'll be back in a second with food. Of course, the ubiquitous seagull puts in an appearance, and we just decided to walk up this side of the harbour and go across that bridge up there and walk down the other side over there, which was again the location of a lot of that summer. A lot of stuff happened outside of there, and we'll get a shot of that before we try and finally get our selfie with Agatha. And this is the actual fishing part of the harbour.
Which still proves that Torquay is deeply involved in fishing.
Turns out we can't get across the bridge because they're going to open it. See if I can get a shot of it opening. Here we go, the bridge is starting to come up.
Yeah.
That's what we're waiting to go through. Nearly up to its full extent. And there we are, it stopped. Which means
and here comes the yacht.
You can go through now.
Serena. And the old song that I used to know from Stingray. Serena, Aqua Serena.
There we go, the bridge is going down now.
Now the gate will come across.
Here we are on the other side now. Hotel Regina in front of us. Harvester restaurant where I took Mum the year before last for her birthday. Beacon Quay. Won't go up there because we have been up there when I took Mum there.
Yeah.
And great British fish and chip shop over there and some amusements. And of course all down here, I say, is where they filmed a lot of that summer. Running around in and out of this places here in front of these buildings.
Yeah.
Not quite as many gift shops and
no,
things
not
as
quite
when,
as
I was,
many. And
when I was younger.
To the Hotel Regina, that's on the Agatha Christie trail which I talked about.
Ah.
And so I think it's this other building down here.
Real Crime Museum, open daily, 10 to 5. Lovely. Just what you come to Torquay for.
Yeah, crime.
Roadworks, of course. Wouldn't be Devon without them. Right, here we are now. Down at the clock tower. Outside the old Debenhams. Still got the sign up there in the background, see? And that was Bobby's in the day. My mum remembers it as Bobby's department store. Oh, we've got to find Agatha Christie and get a selfie.
We have.
Where is Agatha Christie? Found Agatha. And her dog, Peter.
Hello, Agatha.
There's Peter. And there is Agatha Christie.
The latest bronze statue of Agatha Christie was unveiled last month by Matthew Pritchard, Agatha's grandson. The statue was sculptured by a very talented Brixham local artist, Elizabeth Hadley. It shows the Queen of Crime calmly seated on a bench with her beloved dog Peter by her side. The statue is set to be the focal point of the town's new £4 million Harbour Plaza.
So here we are. Here's our selfie with Agatha herself.
Hello, Agatha.
And Agatha says goodbye. It's a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from him.
And that's it. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Take care.
See you
Bye
soon.
bye.
Bye.
See you soon.